The top stories: recent provocations by the TPLF continues to impact innocent civilians. And Russia vetoes UN draft resolution to end Ukraine invasion. Hello and many thanks for joining us. You're watching Addis News Hour with the news. I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the renewed provocation on the part of the TPLF continues to impact innocent civilians and disrupt their livelihoods. In an exclusive interview with Foreign Affairs, the spokesperson Dina Mufti pointed out that though the government has allocated funds for relief efforts, the hostile group continues to impede the delivery of relief, not only to Tigray but also to the conflict-affected zones in Afar and Amhara regions. Ethiopia is working with international partners like the WFP. However, as Amhara and Afar regions are most severely affected by TPLF's aggression, the government calls on partners and stakeholders to place heavier emphasis on efforts to relieve destinations in these regions, Ambassador Dina noted. Regarding the national dialogue, the spokesperson said that Ethiopia hopes for this all-inclusive national dialogue to take place at every gamut of society. The national dialogue creates a conducive environment to build a lasting peace on the foundation of mutual understanding. Turkish ambassador to Ethiopia Yaprak Alp noted that Turkey and Ethiopia have stood by each other in times of difficulties. In an exclusive interview with the Ethiopian news agency, the ambassador elaborated that the two countries have also been cooperating in political, economic, business areas, among other multifaceted spheres. Take a listen to this.
Turkey and Ethiopia have had excellent relations, not for tens of years, but hundreds of years. The two countries have stood by each other in times of difficulties. Turkey has tried to be a friend of every Ethiopian in this huge and beautiful country. We have tried to extend a helping hand in political field, economic field, business field.
The ambassador pointed out that, quote-unquote, Turkey has been a friend of every Ethiopian in this huge and beautiful country, and one of the issues we are also trying to do with this beautiful country is development assistance. Many Turkish agencies and NGOs have already come to the country and are building water projects, giving seeds of agriculture in different northern and southern parts of Ethiopia, according to the ambassador.
Already this week there have been many Turkish agencies, NGOs coming to different regions of Ethiopia in the north and the south, and they have been building water wells, giving seed aids for agriculture, etc. And the Turkish government is also having very important talks with the Ethiopian federal government, the regions, etc., to see where aid is needed in the very near future. We will be doing some things as well.
Ambassador Alp said that the Turkish government also has a very important task to do with the federal government of Ethiopia and regional states to see where assistance is needed. In the very near future, we will see doing something as well. Commenting on the initiative of the Ethiopian government to conduct national dialogue, she stated that the Turkish government has made an official statement welcoming it after the National Dialogue Commission was established.
After this dialogue was established very recently, the Turkish state government made an official statement saying that we welcome this. Of course, we welcome all roads to stability and peace, and we are very happy to see that these steps are being taken, and we hope to see the concrete results very, very soon for all of our brothers and sisters here.
It is to be recalled that the governments of Turkey and Ethiopia signed a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in the field of water, military framework agreement, implementation protocol regarding financial assistance, and military financial cooperation agreement following the visit of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to Turkey in August 2021. The first diplomatic contacts between Ethiopia and Turkey date back to 1896. A scholar says the much-expected national dialogue is a window of opportunity to heal wounds of the past, adding the opportunity should not be wasted. Talking to ETV, the scholar, Alemu Abebe, further pointed out that all issues must be put to the table for an effective and transparent dialogue to take place. If Ethiopians could pull this off, it could be considered as an exemplary endeavor to find Ethiopian solutions to Ethiopian problems, he said. Tigust Sarnesa sat down with a scholar and compiled the following report. Take a look.
Alemu Abebe was the former mayor of Addis Ababa and one of the high-ranking officials during the days of Marxist military Derg. As a seasoned politician and keen observer of Ethiopian politics, he cautions stakeholders to take all the necessary precautions while conducting the national dialogue.
It's only when we understand each other that we can even find out maybe our differences were not so big. Maybe there was no difference. So it may be a point of view, how we see the same thing. Therefore, this platform is very important, and cautions are that, first, as I said, nobody should be rigid. There should be some kind of atmosphere where there is a cordial and friendly conversations, where one should be ready to learn from others and therefore see if there is anything that it has somehow misunderstood, and therefore shift its position. And there could be, as I said, some very important and principal issues on which one may not compromise. Then all this should be resolved finally by the people.
Alemu further expressed that Ethiopians should be proud that the process didn't maneuver by external forces.
From the experience I had in politics for many years, when third parties, especially non-Ethiopian ones, bring their hands into our politics, they always come with their agenda. Always. And for me, they are not neutral. And they can't be neutral, because the overruling interest of those parties is not the stability of that particular country or the establishment of peace in that country, as they claim to say, but it is their interest to inculcate some kind of situation where their interests will be maintained in that particular country. So they come in different forms, by the way. They come in a form of civil society, in a form of some kind of a donor society, and so on. And therefore, I'm very suspicious when foreign intervention is present in this kind of serious issue like national dialogue. Therefore, I am in favor, basically, of having our way of doing things.
Alemu agrees with most political observers that the constitution is a source of political polarization. He says fundamental areas of differences could be reconciled only when the constitution is put in the list of issues to be debated.
First and top for me is, as a whole, the constitution. But literally everything is there. So we should dare to touch the constitution as a whole. I'm not saying that it can be negated and so on, no. But it should not be some kind of an icon that cannot be touched. You know, if we talk about language issue, it is in the constitution. It should be manifested in the constitution, whatever agreement we may come. And if we talk about the flag, it should be also part of the constitution finally.
Alemu warned all parties not to waste the golden opportunity to redress resentments of the past and find a solid basis for the future. He recalled that Ethiopia has wasted several opportunities in the past, thus allowing the polarization to continue.
And I believe we Ethiopians should not miss this third opportunity. We should not ignore it. You know, I believe enough is enough. We have fought in thoughts, in writings. We have insulted each other. And from there we have progressed into raising arms and fighting with each other and killing each other. What remains? That is the ultimate contradictions that any force can go. So the next period for Ethiopia, everybody should wish peace, prosperity, and democracy. That can achieve only if we can somehow build some kind of a consensus. If that is not possible, then at least we should agree to disagree gentlemanly and express our differences in the democratic platform and let the people judge.
The newfound enthusiasm for national dialogue was welcomed by the international community and the Ethiopians, as it is expected to help resolve deep-rooted political crisis and conflict and lead countries into political transition.
Welcome back. You're watching Addis News Hour. There are many heroes and heroines that have captured our imagination and became the centerpiece of historical anecdotes. But there are very few born leaders that have been fascinations of societies for centuries and will remain so for generations to come. Alula Abanega is one such a leader and a charismatic, magnanimous persona at that. Born in the Tambian district of Tigray up north, Alula is one of the heroes of Adwa who courageously helped to repulse the Italian aggression. Jerusalem Betzaha will take us back in history into Alula's account.
Alias known by his horse name as Abanega, he successfully led Ethiopian battles before and after the Adwa victory. Among the battles led by Alula were Gundet and Gura in the mid-1870s, Senhit in 1880, and his resounding victory against the Mahdists of Ansar Sudan at Kufit in 1885, as well as that of Metemma in 1889.
It was during the reign of Emperor Johannes IV that the Egyptians invaded Ethiopia. The occasion presented itself for the brave warrior Ras Alula Abanega to demonstrate his military skills at the battles of Gundet and Gura, which were fought in November 1875 and March 1876 respectively. During both occasions, he routed the Egyptian forces.
Ras Alula's greatest moment came at the Battle of Adwa in 1896, where the Ethiopians, who were the most united in defense of their country against a common enemy, as had ever been the case in their history, defeated Italian forces intent on subjugating Ethiopia, into their empire. That moment, Ras Alula's brilliant military skill was manifested vividly.
Ras Alula's contributions both as military advisor and warrior remain immense. He disclosed invaluable information regarding the tactics of the war, what time the Ethiopians should mount a counter-offensive, and so forth.
The late historian Professor Richard Pancras was Ethiopian by birth or citizenship, but unlike most non-Ethiopian historians researching and writing on Ethiopia, Pancras lived and worked in Ethiopia. He even named his son after one of his heroes, the Ethiopian patriot Ras Alula. Ras Alula and other Ethiopian leaders have proven to the entire world the resolve and invincibility of Ethiopians, and Alula was overjoyed by the significant victory scored at Adwa by himself and by other fellow countrymen. His only great regret was that he did not capture General Repatriate alive, who was not only the enemy of Ethiopia, but also the personal foe of the Ras. Alula drew his last breath in February 1897 after sustaining heavy injury in a fight against Ras Hagos of Tembein.
Ethiopia's brave sons and daughters scored remarkable victories at some historical junctures, like the Battle of Adwa, fought on March 1st, 1896. One of these was Fitaurari Gabayo, who defeated the fascist stronghold of Mekele by engaging the army led by Major Toteli at Amba Alagi. Alias known as Abba Gorau, Gabayo sacrificed his life for the sake of his beloved nation and its sovereignty. Kazahun Chane has the following historical account.
Fitaurari Gabayo, popularly referred to by his horse name Abba Gorau, was an accomplished Ethiopian military commander and Lord Protector of the Crown. Fitaurari Gabayo played a leading role in several important battles of Ethiopian history. Gabayo was born in Angolala in Shoa, in the same village from which Emperor Menelik II of Ethiopia hails. Gabayo was given the rank of Fitaurari, army commander of an aristocracy. He made his reputation at the Battle of Amba Alage and later at the Battle of Adwa.
ሂዱ ብለዋል አጼ ምኒልክ ደሴ ላይ ያሉ ራስ መኮንንን ፍታውራሪ ገበየውን
Emperor Menelik ordered Ras Makonnen, Fitaurari Gabayo, Ras Mangesha and various others to march to Ambalagi up north. Back then, most parts of Tigray fell under control of the Italians. Menelik ordered the likes of Gabayo to dismantle the enemy if they could, and to guard him if they couldn't do that.
ካልቻላችሁ ግን ጠብቁኝ ነው ያሉት እናም ለጌታዬ ድግስ የጦር ድግስ አላቆየውም ያሉት
At the historic Battle of Adwa, he commanded 5,000 riflemen, 15,000 spearmen, and 3,000 cavalry. Gabayo was killed in action during the Battle of Adwa. According to accounts, he was the front cavalry assault leader for the king's army.
አሁን አምባላጌ የት ነው አድዋ የት ነው
Now, it should be made clear that Ambalagi and Adwa are poles apart. Fitaurari Gabayo was a true patriot in that he helped spread one victory to another.
While leading the counter-offensive against the Italians, he witnessed a large number of Italian military preparing for ambush. He realized that unless he acted to thwart the ambush, the enemy will soon score victory against Ethiopians. His counter-offensive helped the Ethiopian side effectively escape the ambush and arrive in time at the battlefield. He died while fighting the enemy fearlessly.
Ethiopia's ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia says efforts are being made to repatriate Ethiopian citizens from the kingdom. The ambassador, Lench Obati, said a committee chaired by the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Ethiopia, Dammaqe Mekonnen, is working with stakeholders at national and regional levels to come up with a sustainable solution regarding Ethiopian citizens detained in Saudi Arabia's prisons. According to the ambassador, the embassy is working in collaboration with officials of the kingdom for a better treatment for Ethiopians residing in the country. New Saudi Arabian immigration policies and undocumented traveling from Ethiopia have contributed to the problem, he added. In business news, the Industrial Parks Development Corporation disclosed that legal amendments will soon be made to do away with some bureaucratic practices which for long proved a burden on industries and related companies. CEO of the corporation, Sandokan Debebe, told the Ethiopian news agency that some laws and regulations which do not square with the existing working environment of the corporation will be amended. The amendment, he said, is aimed at making the companies more competitive and improve their working conditions. Listen to this.
Custom ላይ ያሉ value add የማያደርጉ ለባለሀብቱም ለሀገሪቱም
There are some working habits which fail to add any value to the industry. We had to do away with these habits. There are also rules that do more damage to the profitability of the banking industry. We have hopes that lawmakers will look into all these and introduce amendments. As to us, all the factors have been presented to the relevant bodies and their decisions are eagerly awaited.
Sandokan also highlighted that legal improvements are on the pipeline to create opportunities for the companies whereby they supply products for domestic market until and when foreign destinations have been secured.
The very objective of the industrial parks is to help the nation earn foreign exchange. If this is the case, then there is no point for the parks in selling products to the domestic market. But then, until such time that they secure foreign destinations, they must improve their selling rates by availing products to the domestic market for a duration of not more than 1 year.
There are 13 industrial parks managed by the federal government and 4 parks managed under the domain of regional states. And now it's time for the Forex update.